high above the Homs Gap in western Syria, where the land narrows between the Mediterranean coast and the Syrian interior, rises a fortress so massive, so perfectly engineered, that for centuries it was believed to be invincible. Its pale limestone walls still dominate the hills, watching the ancient roads below, just as they have for nearly 1,000 years. This is Krak des Chevaliers, the greatest Crusader castle ever built. Long before European knights ever set foot in the Levant, this hill was already known for its strategic power. Empires understood its value. Romans, Byzantines, Arab caliphates. Whoever controlled this pass controlled trade, armies, and communication between the coast and the great inland cities of Homs and Damascus. By the early 11th century, a small Kurdish garrison occupied the hilltop fortress. They called it Hisn al-Akrad, the fortress of the Kurds. It was strong, but modest, a military outpost, not yet a monument. Everything changed in 1099. The First Crusade swept into the region. As Crusader armies carved out new states along the eastern Mediterranean, they learned one brutal truth above all others: castles were survival. In 1109, Count Raymond of Toulouse seized Hisn al-Akrad. At first, it served as a frontier fort, guarding the county of Tripoli. But the Crusaders soon realized something more. This hill was not just a defense, it was a lock. A stone lock on the door between Muslim Syria and the Crusader coast. For decades, the fortress changed hands. Earthquakes cracked its walls. Each generation rebuilt it stronger than before. Then, in 1142, the castle passed into the hands of the Knights Hospitaliers, and Krak des Chevaliers was reborn. The Hospitaliers were not merely warriors, they were monks, engineers, administrators, men devoted to discipline and permanence. Under their command, Krak des Chevaliers was transformed into the most advanced fortress of the medieval world. Stone by stone, it became a concentric fortress, layer upon layer of defense. If one wall fell, another waited behind it, higher, thicker, deadlier. The outer walls curved to deflect enemy fire. Towers were positioned for devastating crossfire. Arrow slits were angled for precision and protection. Murder holes, kill zones, hidden staircases. Every step an enemy took was calculated against them. Inside the walls, Krak was not merely a fortress, it was a city. Granaries held enough food for 5 years. Cisterns captured rainwater to endure endless sieges. A chapel, dormitories, kitchens, stables, armories. Up to 2,000 soldiers and civilians could live and fight within its walls. Krak des Chevaliers was meant to not fall. From its heights, the Hospitaliers launched raids deep into Muslim territory. Caravans paid tribute to pass safely. Villages below were taxed. The castle became both a shield and a sword. Muslim chroniclers wrote of Krak with awe and frustration. It stood like a mountain of stone, daring armies to challenge it. Many did, all failed. Even Saladin, the legendary commander who shattered Crusader power at Hattin, refused to assault Krak directly. He knew the cost. The castle remained, a silent insult of foreign rule, deep within Muslim lands. But time, politics, and shifting power would eventually bring even Krak to its knees. By the mid-12th century, the Crusader states were collapsing. Manpower dwindled, supplies ran thin. The Islamic world, now united under the Mamluk Sultanate, turned its full attention to the last Crusader strongholds. In 1271, Sultan Baibars arrived at Krak des Chevaliers, one of the greatest military minds of the medieval age. This time, the siege was different. Relentless artillery battered the defenses. Outer walls fell piece by piece. And then Baibars struck not with steel, but with deception. A letter was delivered to the garrison, supposedly from the Grand Master of the Hospitaliers. It ordered them to surrender. Isolated, exhausted, outnumbered, the defenders laid down their arms. After nearly 130 years, Krak des Chevaliers fell, not through brute force, but through strategy. The Mamluks did not destroy the castle. They admired it. They repaired its towers, strengthened its walls, used it as a regional military base. But the world was changing. Trade routes shifted. Cannons replaced castles. Krak slowly faded from military power into legend. Villagers moved into its halls. Stone was reused. Earthquakes scarred its towers. Centuries passed, yet the fortress endured. In the 19th century, European travelers rediscovered Krak des Chevaliers. They called it the finest medieval castle in the world. Archaeologists studied it. Historians praised it. Architects marveled at its perfection. Even today, despite war and damage in modern Syria, Krak des Chevaliers still stands. Massive, silent, defiant. It is more than a castle. It is the story of faith and conquest, of engineering and obsession, of human ambition carved into stone. A monument to an age when empires clashed and castles decided the fate of civilizations. A fortress built to last forever. And one that against all odds almost did.